Hi, welcome to Willow, Brook, Apiary, and Homestead. Happy bees, healthy honey. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to use a Varroa Easy Check, which is going to be an alcohol wash to check for Varroa mites on your bees. Inside of this little white basket, there are two different lines, the bottom line and the top line. Inside, we have one part rubbing alcohol, 4 parts water. So it just barely fills the bottom of the container. And according to the directions, it says that we're gonna choose a frame of capped brood, locate the queen, isolate, protect her in a different spot of the hive. Using this, we're going to scoop off some bees, which I'm sure they'll love, until it fills the bottom line or the second line up. And they recommend using a sampling of 300 bees.
That's a
which
lot of
is
bees.
the top line. Minimum required is the 200. You're gonna set this in here. You're gonna put the lid on, screw it in place, shake it around to get those bees wet. Take the lid back off. Add in more of the rubbing alcohol water mixture. To the level indicated on the transparent bowl. So we're just gonna check the bowl. Wonderful. I don't see a level that's indicated. There is a line here, so I'm going to guess that's the line that we're going with. It is not a very solid line, so what we'll probably do is come back in at a later time and put a permanent marker line around that, or maybe we'll use nail polish. We're going to put the lid back on, gently shake for 60 seconds. Shake gently to prevent foaming. You can shake it from side to side or rotate it to optimize separation. And then we're going to count the mites looking through the transparent bowl after removing the basket of bees. After counting the mites, you can filter liquid through a very fine sieve, collecting container for future use so you can reuse it. So now that I've walked through kind of this is what we're going to do, I have got my smoker going. I've smoked the hive. Going to go ahead and open up and just get into it. This is also a great opportunity to check on the honey supers to see if I need to add a box. I do have a lot of bees at the top of this box, but not a lot happening inside this top honey super, so I could tell right from looking through the top of the inside cover that I do not need to add a honey super at this point. Sliding our hive tool under the edge to break the propolis seal. Checking this inner cover. I've got drones, I've got worker bees, no queen, that's a good thing. No small hive beetles. That is a great thing. It is always important when working your hives that you work efficiently but calmly so as not to excite or agitate the bees.
For my sake.
They're just starting to draw some comb on that honey super. Each time I remove a box, I apply a little bit of smoke keep the bees in the next box calm if they haven't been smoked yet. Lots of room in this honey super still. They're not really drawing the foundation very well on that plastic foundation. Doesn't really surprise me. Going to remove this third frame. If you'll remember from the last beehive inspection of this hive, we put a date, June 19th, 2020. There was a queen cell being worked on here. It's also a good reason to check that and see where that's at. And it does look like that was just a practice run. They did not cap it, they're not going to swarm. I still have queen because I have eggs, larvae, and capped brood. Not super happy with the pattern I'm seeing. I'd like to see a lot more capped brood than that, but I am seeing lots of eggs and larvae in there. And there's the queen. Right at the top of this frame. Are you able to see that, Noah?
I zoomed in, but I don't really want to step farther in.
But can you, looking at the camera, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good, good, good. So this frame has the queen. Not ideal that that's the first frame we pulled and it's got the queen on it. But knowing she is there, what I'm going to do now is do my inspection of the bees from the next box down, so I'm not even dealing with the same brood chamber that the queen is in. No chance of damaging the queen. Doing it this way.
That fly felt good on my leg.
I do have a lot of bees in the middle here, so that would be a good spot to gather my bees from.
Better make sure there's no bees in there.
Or spiders.
Spiders are better.
I no longer see Mama Spider with her egg sac crawling around. I'm happy about that. I'd rather not have things crawling while I'm trying to work.
I feel like bees.
Normally, you would not take a frame from the middle, but knowing that the queen is in the box behind me, that's where I'm going to take it from, because that's where most of the bees are. We want to try to get a good sampling of bees without upsetting
The bees.
the bees too much. I really don't know what 200 to 300 bees in a cup looks like.
No, it feels
I'm gonna
like.
guess that it is more than what I have here.
Eesh. You got that right.
There are some drones. I can see a varroa mite, so there's that.
I don't really need to test to see it.
The test allows for the gathering of a bigger sample size than you can see with your eye. And I can see already that I want my
Gloves on.
bee brush probably. So I'm gonna set that there. Go ahead and pause the video. I'll be back with my bee brush, my frame for sampling. We're gonna see. I do not claim to be an expert at this. This is my first time. So hopefully I don't make too many mistakes, but if I do, hopefully you learn from them.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, they don't like that.
I'm gonna back up. I would not like to be stung.
All right, I will say this.
Here. That is not 300.
I don't think I have the minimum sample. Stand away from the hive when shaking.
Why did I agree to videoing this?
Whatever the reason may be, this hive is very light in population. Something we would not normally like to see.
I was just gonna say I don't enjoy this, and now I really don't enjoy this. I heard that crunch. Did you just get stung?
Nope, but I smell bananas.
I smell smoke. And that probably means let's stop.
All right. They say in the instructions that the bees do not like this. I agree.
So do I.
They do not like the bee brush. I don't like doing things that agitate my bees. So in future inspections, I think that I will quite likely wear a long sleeve shirt. And as much as I don't like the leather gloves because they squish bees, I'll probably be wearing the leather gloves.
Because you don't want to get stung.
Accomplish this in the greatest sense of
No pain.
calmness and in the quickest fashion possible. We are going to begin to reassemble this hive. Just going to do a cursory peek in this honey super. Do I have a queen calling in here? Gosh, I hope not. With it being so few bees, it's pretty easy to take a quick peek and say, I don't think so. With the hive confidently put back together, we can continue this. Let's do it in the relative comfort over here. Since the bees really didn't seem to enjoy that, we're going to try to do this in a way that's not agitating them as much as possible. All right. Watching that thin little line. Gonna set a 1-minute timer. Really quite happy to have escaped any bee stings in that incident. Definitely had agitated bees flying up around my hands and could smell a strong smell of banana, which is a smell similar to their attack pheromone. Reached back, grabbed my smoker, applied some fresh smoke so none of the other bees could smell that, and unscathed. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beep, 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 beep. All right. So if we could focus in on this container, we can see a varroa mite, a varroa mite, varroa mite, varroa mite. So we're already starting to see a mite count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's not good.
5 is not bad.
Not good considering the
So-
amount of bees.
All right, I'm gonna walk over to here, Noah. If a 300 sample was used, divide the number of observed mites by 3. For a 200 sample, divide the number of mites by 2.
Ugh, math.
Let's see, we've got it in multiple languages, but it doesn't say anything about when to treat. I think, one, we need to double check and see what our sample size is. So we have a sample size of 200 bees. So
That's pretty good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mites. If we say there's some room for error there, and maybe we've got a few less than 200, so we put that mite count at 8, but then we divide it by 2, we have a mite count of 4 bees per 100. So we'll reference some of our bee resources, our beekeeping books, etc., and we'll see whether or not it's recommended we treat. At this point in the year, there is no treatment option right now. The one type, the oxalic acid drip, would need to be in the spring while the brood is still clustered in their winter cluster. And then you dribble oxalic acid across and it flows down through over them, killing any mites crawling around. In the fall, I think my younger brother, who's also a beekeeper, I think he said September is when he starts. We would put Apiary var in the corners, the 4 corners of the hive. We'll do a video on that in the fall. For right now, Willow, Brook, Apiary, and honeybees, happy bees, healthy honey. God bless.